All right. So welcome. We'll uh, we'll get the meet. We'll call the meeting to order. This is the subcommittee on AEDs for the Parks and Recs Commission of the Town of Fairfield. First order of business is election of subcommittee officers. For a nomination for a chair.
I nominate McKay Jemison as the chair.
Second that.
Okay. Oh, you guys are very generous and kind. Anybody else? Any other nominations? All right. All right. Any opposition to this nomination as chair? All right, we'll consider it unanimous then. Second item of business is a secretary for the subcommittee. Any nominations?
I will nominate Bill Llewellyn since he's new to the Park and Rec Commission.
And I was gonna say, since Chris is about to get in his car, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not taking any notes right now.
All right. All right. So we'll treat those both as anonymous actions or unanimous act. I'm a great chair. Unanimous actions. All right. Second action. Next item on the agenda. Just to kind of open it up, what I like to do when I've done this in the past is just sort of set a committee charter, which just kind of helps us have some focus and scope in terms of what it is that we're trying to accomplish. And so this is hopefully everybody's had a chance to review this document. I can pull it up, I think. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So this was just intended to outline sort of direction of the committee. Really, it's to understand the current placement and need for AEDs at public locations that are under the purview of Parks and Rec. And bottom line is the subcommittee will report and make recommendations to the commission, the larger commission, to ensure that town park and rec facilities have an AED plan that prioritizes public health. Under the commission's authority, they may further advance recommendations to the director and to relevant town bodies. So basically that says we'll offer recommendations to the commission, and the commission has then the discretion to make further recommendations to any of the other authorities. The next part just says membership's us, basically. And bottom line, in terms of responsibilities, what I'd sort of propose is that we provide a report and recommendations at the end of this to the commission that includes sort of a public health risk assessment of cardiac arrest in Fairfield, and the role of AEDs, and assessment of coverage and placement in our facilities and Parks and Rec, and then just sort of benchmarking how Fairfield does to other towns. And if we have any other best practices, ways of looking at financing if needed, or other models that may exist that might be good to look at, we can report on those as well. So again, this is just a proposal to this group. If there's any amendments that are needed or suggestions that should be added, please feel free to make them known.
Thank you.
Do we want to also, part of it, training is an aspect of training, not just purchasing, but training and maintaining?
I'm sorry. Wait a minute, hold on. She's doing something here. Okay.
So, Bill, I recall what the young man that came before us, which facilitated us getting this subcommittee together. I think him raising the money, I don't know if he was a Boy Scout or not, or he just looked like a Boy Scout because of what he was doing. But he was going to raise money for the training and the upkeep on these. I think that was one of the questions we had. We could look back at the minutes, after we're off this call and figure that out. But I know that was brought up a few times in terms of how to maintain these and how to use them. So I think, they're going to do the type of situation where, they would do some sort of company or town-wide, training down at whatever park or facility they have them. That was kind of the idea.
Okay.
And that would be done through maybe his group in conjunction with us.
And my understanding is these, I think, are relatively easy to operate, but I think I tried to write this with a degree of flexibility because, number one, to my knowledge, none of us are public health experts. And so my thinking in organizing this was sort of like, first step is, I think we as a group just need to better understand the role of AEDs, how we use them, the purpose, sort of answer all those questions. So I think step one is just sort of foundational education for us, working with our, town authorities to, understand that. And then I think the next step is to understand, we may be in great shape. We may be a work in progress. I genuinely don't know that today, right? And so I think it's asking those questions, and then as it relates to training and things like that, I think that could be potentially a recommendation as part of it. But I think I'm sort of the mind, we don't know what we don't know, and so I feel like we have to answer the exploratory questions first.
Would it be wise maybe to next month when we have our meeting to reach out to that young man and his father and see if they could join the call just to kind of update us as to where they are in the process?
Yeah,
they seem to know a heck of a lot more than we do.
Yeah, so in the next item of business is a little bit of like a plan on sort of, and that's intended to be more used, but I want to sort of like get a list of people that we should be involving. Galen and I have already had a couple conversations, and I've talked to the Fairfield Fire Department a little bit about this. But I think we definitely need to invite, a variety of different stakeholders within the town to this.
Do we have a way to get a current inventory of, locations that already have the AEDs? Like, I know it's required by the state that, all the schools have it anywhere, the golf course, the rec center, what other, what other areas we're looking to target? Do we have any kind of idea?
So the contact that I have at the Fairfield Fire Department can brief us on that. I was what I thought we'd do is just establish an initial meeting, kind of get our scope as a group, and then at our next meeting it'll be a little bit more substantive in terms of hopefully personnel and content. And he'll also explain the limitation, anyway, some of the limitations that we have in placing them. There's a lot of information we need to understand before we make any decisions on things, I think. Okay. All right. Is there any further discussion or amendments as it relates to this particular document? All right, seeing none, is there a motion to approve the subcommittee charter?
I'll make a motion.
All right.
I'll second.
Chris seconds. Any further discussion? Public comments? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Yay.
Aye.
Yay.
All right, unanimous. All right, so we'll consider this our sort of governing document, if you will. The next item of business is, and I don't think we necessarily need to vote on this per se, but this was just sort of a document that I thought would help us kind of just guide our work. And I'm very, very, very open to feedback on this, as well as I think we'll probably want to update it as we learn more, because I can't begin to guess what we don't know right now. But this just kind of recaps what we said in the charter, but more importantly, February, kind of establish a charter and operating plan. March and April, let's talk to our public health officials to better understand the risks that we have at our park and rec facilities, understand our AED footprint, what are the current legal requirements. Are there, I know that there are bills that are being proposed to expand the use of AEDs. I think getting a better understanding of that, as well as sort of the cost to acquire, the cost to maintain, those types of things. I sort of assumed would take us, a few meetings to take a look at, and then doing some work to benchmark how we're doing compared to other towns is kind of the next piece of work, May through June. And then work on draft recommendations over the summer, and then hopefully have a final report before the end of the year. And this is just a draft timeline. We could be done faster, but I wanted to just kind of give us a little bit of guidance there. And then potential stakeholders, I had Fairfield Fire Department, Department of Public Health. There may be some local physicians that would be good to talk to, maybe local chapters of like American Heart Association, Stroke Association. I think Chris's point on the young man who we need to get a name for.
Yeah, I think we're a heart safe town from the American Red Cross, which means that we have stuff in place already. I mean, I can look into that further, because I know about 5 years ago we were looking to do that as a part of our Rotary Club, and we sort of got sidetracked in that. And then I thought I saw signs in town said that we're heart safe, a heart safe community.
Okay.
Which means, so I can follow up with that. But that would be, there may already be work being done or already been laid out for us already on the town side in terms of, Brenda or someone, higher above that we already done it.
And I think that would be great. I think, really what I want to do is just bring people together so we understand what's being done. Because I think what you're suggesting is exactly what I agree. I don't want to try to recreate or force fit things that aren't needed. I just want to do the exploratory and investigational, ask the right questions to know if there's something that needs to be addressed by this group. And the answer may be no at the end of the day, but at least we'll all feel good that we did all the due diligence, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, I think this is a good list of stakeholders. Yeah, Bill, if you wouldn't mind checking in with the Red Cross. I've already started conversations with the fire department, and I need to reach out to public health, public health department as well. They may have some additional recommendations from there, but I think that's going to be a good place for us to start, hopefully for the next meeting, and will kind of give us a lay of the land from the town perspective, and we can add additional stakeholders as we have new questions. I don't necessarily think we need a formal vote. I don't think we need to treat this as a formal document as much as it is just sort of a planning guideline kind of document. But does this look good to you guys?
I think it's it
looks great.
Okay, great. Then what I'd say, unless there's anything else, why don't we just take a moment to agree on a next date to meet? I was thinking maybe March 1st, Tuesday, March 1st.
Same time?
I'm going to be
roughly same time.
I'm going to be out of town.
Okay.
Let me see, March 1st. Hold on one second. Yeah, I'm going to be out of town till really to get back on the 6th. I could do March 7th.
I could do the 7th.
Yeah, that looks fine for me right now.
March 7th?
All right. So do people like the 5, or is everybody still?
Yeah, 5's great.
Roughly
Yeah,
remote.
5 works for me. Yeah.
And I think we'll try to do that one in person, since we'll maybe invite people, and maybe we'll deal with less technology issues.
Perfect.
That sound good?
Yes.
All right. Then on that note, is there any other business? All right. Anything for the good of the order? All right, then we can consider ourselves adjourned. Chris, good luck at basketball practice. Thank you for
Yeah.
making the time. I'm
Thank
glad
you.
we fit this into your schedule.
And
All right, so I'll write up-
congratulations. Congratulations on your appointment as chair and secretary.
Yeah, I'll
Thank
write
you,
up,
thank
and then you guys, it's first time doing it, so, if there's any corrections or whatever, just let me know.
We know we're in
Will
very
do.
capable hands. All right, take care, guys.
All right,
All right, see you, gentlemen. Right.
Have a good
Thank you.
thanks, thanks
Bye.
again.
Bye, Galen.
Thanks, Caitlin.